Each year, 1.7 million Americans sustain a traumatic brain injury. It's estimated that 3 million Americans currently live with disabilities resulting from a TBI. 120,000 live right here in Washington State. And of our servicemen and women who are returning from combat, 14 to 19% have a TBI.
Traumatic brain injury is a second away. We're sitting here in these chairs, and maybe the leg collapses, or, I fall out of this chair, I hit this cement, I can have a traumatic brain injury that quick. A lot of them are due to car accidents, a fall, and today, like it's your child, today my child is normal. Just what we might consider normal. 5 minutes from now, he is now paraplegic. Maybe he can't remember his name. Maybe he's regressed to a 6-year-old. You need to think about that. And we need to do something about it.
Terry Home is a boarding home for young adult survivors of traumatic brain injury. The mission of Terry Home is to promote purpose, privacy, and independence for each person in a comfortable, home-like atmosphere.
The idea for Terry Home was because they told us we should start looking for a nursing home because there was no other place for young people like him. He was 18 years old. And if you ever go to Good Sam Rehab or Harborview, you will see all these young people lined up in the hallways waiting for their therapies or whatever, sitting in wheelchairs and walkers and canes. And I talked to a lot of them. I know one of them told me, he said, every day I wake up, it's a whole new world. And, you learn a lot more about brain injury than you ever wanted to know.
1988.
1988.
Helmet.
There was no helmet law.
Yeah.
And he'd wear his helmet almost all the time. Right?
Yeah.
Yep, except that one time.
My name's Aaron Oyster. Currently I just volunteer at Terry Home. If I wanted to, I could move into Terry Home probably, because I am a TBI survivor. The reason why I am the way I am now, being a TBI survivor, wasn't an accident exactly. When I was 5 or 6, I first started showing signs of a malignant brain tumor that I had in right side of my head.
He was asleep in the back seat of the car, one of his friends and another guy in the front seat, and they lost the car lost it on a curve and slid sideways into a tree, and they hit the tree where Terry's head was, and he had a head injury and a broken collarbone. It was not a fun time. I mean, we spent many days at Harborview, days and nights, and I had to go every day. I mean, I couldn't not go, It was hard, very hard.
Most of them had to learn how to talk again. They had to learn how to eat again. They had to learn how to, some of them even open and close their eyes again.
Imagine having to it over.
I think these are very amazing people. I think that they probably some of the bravest people you could meet. I think they've endured more than most any of us are ever going to, and still have a smile every day and still have, such good attitudes.
One lady in particular, I went with Joanne to go assess her to see if she would be an appropriate candidate to move here. This was an individual that was pretty much left in bed, and Joanne identified in this individual will to get better and the determination to make it happen if she was given the opportunity.
Being more independent is what my biggest goal is.
Now this lady is walking, and she's able to transfer herself, and she's leading a productive, happy life here.
Every one of the brain injuries are different, so some of them progress. Trisha's progressed in 3 years from being pulled along with straps, and now she's walking on her own. And what's your next goal, Patricia? What do you hope to do?
Get in the wheelchair. It's hitting the curb. I was independent before my accident, and I'd like to walk on my own. I hunger for walking on my own. Praise God.
Clearly the need is great. With 120,000 people in Washington alone living with the outcome of a traumatic brain injury, we know that housing for this population is needed. As of 2011, Terry Home is the only place totally dedicated to providing a home for survivors of TBI.
For the folks out there that don't have the opportunity to live at some place like Terry Home, who are still in a nursing home or, in mom and dad's house, it's a lot of work for a family to care for somebody who needs this sort of 24-hour supervision. And for people out there who don't have the chance to live in an independent situation like this, it's great to have a second facility, to have more people with the opportunity to get their life back. David's got some of his life back.
An additional home is in the works to provide home for 12 more young adults. 4 of these rooms will be given to veterans coming back from the war.
I'm thrilled because I know that over the years there have been a lot of people that haven't been able to move here because there wasn't space. 2 could be filled tomorrow if they were built, because there's 25 on the waiting list.
This accident happened to David a really long time ago, 23 years ago. But now in the news you hear all these stories about all the kids that are in Afghanistan and Iraq who are driving around in their Humvees and an explosive device goes off, and you hear about all of these head injuries. All of those guys, men and women, are coming back from Iraq and they need the care. It breaks my heart.
I think people that have TBIs have to struggle very hard to succeed in life, more so than the average person, and they could definitely use help from the community.
Terry Home is so special because if we didn't have Terry Home, most of them would be in a nursing home, and that just doesn't fit for younger adults.
He spent 12 years in a nursing home, and that would be the only other option. And that's a pretty depressing place to be, when you have 80-year-old roommates that are dying.
For all those 20, 30-year-olds who are suffering head injuries in car accidents or motorcycle accidents or in a Humvee in Afghanistan, they all deserve an opportunity to have somewhere to live.
This is a home. It's not a nursing home. They can go in and out of their rooms. They have some chores they do. It's not, total care like a nursing home is. It's much more private. And it's people their age.
It's bigger, it's more hospital institutionalized it feels, and this is more like a home.
Yeah.
You can be independent. You can get up when you want, do the things you want. He has chores. We have chores at the house. I think he unloads the dishwasher. And he has his job to do every day. He has rules he has to comply with. And they're the rules of the house. And that's the kind of thing that everybody should have the opportunity to be on their own 2 feet. So that's the kind of opportunity that Terry Home and another facility would give those folks an opportunity to have their own life back.
Right now, the biggest hurdle for getting into Terry Home is we don't have the space for them.
The right thing to do is provide another home. You can be a part of this exciting adventure. We'd like you to join us by providing your support in whatever way you can.
I would just ask you to give from your hearts, if you feel led to do so.
It's been a journey. It's not just the victim who is affected. It's the families and friends as well.
This is not something that we planned in our lives. And hopefully it's not something that will happen in their lives. But you never know. In an instant, your whole life can change just because of a traumatic brain injury. You know, being the president of the board of directors for a home for traumatic brain injury was not on my list of things to do. It was not on my bucket list at all. But here I am, and there, but for the grace of God, go I. I mean, the traumatic brain injury could have happened to me. And hopefully, if it ever does, there will be someone there to help and support me. And that's why Terry Home is here.